following program is intended for mature audiences.
It's the music, movies, and shows you love.
As if we care.
And hate.
You ain't gonna like it none.
And love to hate.
I didn't expect that at all.
This is The Broken Remote.
And coming to you live on tape on this Monday, August 1st, 2022. Rich Eggy joined by Wilt the Stilt. We're in our own multiverse. One of your variants lost his greatest competitor as Bill Russell died at the ripe old age of 88. So while I know that means nothing and absolutely zippo to you there, Stilt, are you sad at the passing of the great Bill Russell?
I'm going to, he has the same name as me, so I'm going to take that as a huge loss, despite the fact he chose to go by Bill and therefore is at least 60 years older than I am.
There you go. So everybody is sad, even though, multiverses clash and go their own ways. So you can also reach the show at the Broken Helmet Broken Remote Pod, Broken Helmet. That's my other podcast talking about NFL. And if you want to talk about NFL, I'm sure we can dive into that, but I think we'll probably go a different direction.
That is not my area of expertise. Yeah.
Will, let's talk about the Giants training camp.
They're that San Francisco-based team, right?
There's a San Francisco team.
Yeah, Barry Bonds, I'm pretty sure, was on there.
He was awesome.
Yeah, he was phenomenal.
He hit a lot of home runs. I should have said scored a lot of home runs, hit a lot of touchdowns.
Give me a hell yeah!
So anyway, how you been? Good?
I've been good. Yeah, fun weekend. A lot of I broke out the college funnel basically for the first time since college, and turns out it's really effective.
Whoa! Really, congratulations!
I know. This is how I hang on to my youth before I turn 30.
I couldn't even tell you the last time I did a funnel. I step up and I try to do a funnel, and everybody would just look as I just spit up all over the place, and they would just get a big...
What takes for nothing?
I can't do that. I not going to happen for here. So why did you break out a funnel?
It sounded like a really good idea, and it was the first night, and everyone had fun. And then the second night came around, and you enjoy it until a certain point when you go, oh, I can't do this anymore. But I still did it.
No good. 2 nights in a row, too. Aggressive.
2 nights in a row. Yeah, so that was good. Sunday was rough, and I am still recovering. It's been...
Yeah, well, 2 days of funneling, in your prime will probably put you on the sidelines.
That was nothing.
But two days of funneling, after you exit your prime, it puts a hurting on you.
Exactly. Yeah. Something about going to a 9 to 5 immediately after that, where you're like, "Oh, that's right. I can't just not be in class right now." Shit.
You crapped out.
Yeah.
It same goes with all kinds of like old party tricks, like fucking Jello shots. Oh my god.
Oh. No, thank you.
We went to my buddy's house down the Jersey Shore, my wife and I, and my wife wanted to do something really nice. So she said, why don't we make something for the party? We'll make something fun. We'll do Jello shots. So we're making Jello shots. And, of course, you got to taste them. You got to try them out. You got to make sure it's not terrible. So I put down a bunch before we went to the party, and then after which we're at the party, and then all of a sudden you're like, yeah, sure, that's me. I'll do another one. Well, I remember half the party, the other half of the party, I was face down in a couch. My wife went to the boardwalk with a couple people, came back with tickets to go see like the Flying Muling Brothers. She's like, where's Rich? We're all going to go to the bar. And they're like, no, he's passed the fuck out right there on the couch.
I was going to say, they mistook you for a bunch of pillows at first because your back was just so you couldn't see the light properly. I know it. We've all been there. Yeah.
Oh, I stood up and I pissed my pants. And then I threw up out the window on the way home. Winner!
Yeah.
Right here!
What's important is you didn't do it on your wife. That would have been a little bit more of an issue. Yeah.
So the next day I'm
where we also all have been. Come
disaster.
On. Yeah.
So anyway, I learned my lesson, and I am sure it sounds like you learned yours this weekend.
It has been. There was no vomiting. I'm proud to say that, but it was.
Good for you.
It just It's just where everyone's back hurts on Sunday, and we go, "What happened? Why are we here at this point?" And you just feel those gray hairs that you've been ignoring for the last few years really start to emerge and grow brighter in strength.
Ah, shit, now I got them on my face, so I feel you, brother.
Yeah.
What was the event for, anyway? The occasion event?
My friend, my best friend is getting married in like 2 months, so it was like a mini bachelor party, kind of just get together shindig. We're doing like another one for that same couple, but this just like
Yeah, he was kissing his life away.
Yeah,
I mean, that's what you got to do. Yeah.
exactly. Yeah.
Many of us have been there. Many more will join us.
Yeah, she was there too. I love her, and we tried to get her to funnel, but she was lame. Actually, she may have done it once. Okay.
It was like a joint thing, husband and wife.
It was like a mini joint thing. Yeah, we're like doing 2 mini joint bachelor party. We're not doing like any. It's really just an excuse to get together and drink. That's really all we're doing.
I have heard of those, but I thought they were like a Bigfoot. I didn't think they really actually existed. But I
Yeah,
guess
it's.
living proof right here that
I
these
know
things
it's
do
very
happen.
strange. It's very strange. Like you miss out on one part of the bachelor party, but at the same time, you also get just a more clusterfuck of people in their late 20s to early 30s who are just at this very chaotic point of their lives where they're either just about to get married or they've just gotten married and realize they made a huge mistake. And
Oh,
it's
come
really
on. That
fun
doesn't
for me.
exist. People don't
I
think
know.
that way.
People never think that way. So there's a couple groups, shall we say, that may have been involved, not in this weekend, but that will be, where they may have fucked up, and everybody knows, and they don't realize everybody knows, and we'll be staring at them, judging them the entire time.
Oh, in what regard, though?
Just your basic like divorce, or they're just like, they're fighting now. It's like, no, they're not fighting. They love each
Oh,
other.
okay.
Why would
That
they-
kind of
yeah.
stuff.
Yeah,
I thought
yeah.
maybe, two people in the different parties ended up hooking up earlier than the wedding. So now it's like you got all that time in between.
I would love if that happened. That would be really fun for me.
Of course it would. I'm an observer just like yourself, sir.
Exactly. I would have a ball if that happened. That's all I'm looking for. I'm just here for chaos, and I'm here to ride that wave, while other people, their lives kind of maybe crash and burn to a small degree.
Yeah. Well, I figured after you're saying that, you got 2 parties here funneling, I figured at one point somebody stood up on the
Stupid up in here!
on the couch, screamed that out, and then, before you know it, the two, the bachelorette party and the bachelor party, they're all hooking up. The whole thing is a mess.
Yeah. Yeah, stay tuned. There's enough couples I know now that are getting married / have been married where you're just like, I mean, the first divorce has already happened, which is really fun.
Whoa, that was early. Well,
I-
it could be early. How long did it last?
Oh, it was a very good 10 months before she cheated on him, and then they tried to make that.
That'll do it.
Yeah, that was basically what it was. And good job, guys.
10
Good job.
months, huh?
10 months.
I mean, that girl was
They-
aggressive.
She was trying her best to find a way out. She was not subtle, it sounds like.
When did they
about
get together to begin with?
Oh, they got together in college, and it was one of those situations where we all knew she was bad news, and he was a really nice guy, but he just would not listen to anybody.
Yeah,
with
no.
regards to what was going on there. And then at the wedding,
Everybody
both
knows a story
parties-
like that.
yeah,
I know
all
one
of-
myself.
All of her friends, all of his friends, like they'd be like, "Oh my God, this wedding," and everyone's drinking, and the whole time while they're up there, like putting cake in each other's mouths, everyone's going, "This is a horrible idea.
It's never going to work.
Yeah. So then his best man, who, there's so many different sides of that story, but his like basically what his best man, like he got kicked out of being the best man because he was like, "You sure this is a good idea?" And then next thing you know, he's still in the wedding, but he's not in the groom's party anymore. Uh-oh.
Well, he tried to do a solid.
Yeah. No. He was that was true love, and he was getting in the way. That's what was going on.
Of course
That's
it
what
was.
really happened. Yeah.
But in hindsight, somebody looks phenomenally intelligent, and somebody else, looks more less with the cone dunce cap on in the corner.
Yeah. Yeah, and we ever get into that whole story, it is a very chaotic, wild ride, but it's over now, but he somehow escaped the skin of his teeth that having to pay too much money, and he is...
Oh, that's like winning the lottery.
I know.
You hit it good if you don't have to bleed out that much.
I know. So he's killing it now apparently, and she is dating progressively more and more troll-like individuals. But
So it kind of sounds like there might be a possibility of down the road of them maybe rekindling it.
Oh,
Or
of
is he
course.
dead?
Yeah. Oh,
Is he done with it? He deaded it or not really?
He's done with it. He's done.
Oh,
with
he's
it.
done
Yeah,
with
no,
it. Okay, so.
she was not subtle in her lack of feeling for him. I think at the end.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
So that'll put it to bed quite fast.
I was gonna say, yeah, it was basically the epitome of Russia and Ukraine's relationship. Those two.
Oh, one of those.
It's gonna be, yeah. I mean, maybe they can be neighbors, but they're never gonna have any love for each other ever again.
Baby, I love you, but you have the smallest penis in the world. Oh, that's the end of it.
Were you talking to my ex-girlfriend? I'm confused.
No, not at all.
Yeah,
I was
some
saying,
people are growers, some are showers.
Exactly.
I haven't been either. Yeah,
Right.
I haven't been either. Yeah.
You know, the problem with her saying that to him is that if she hadn't said it at the wedding, there might have been something to salvage. But
Yeah.
at that point, it just goes all downhill.
Yeah. What are you
So-
talking about? When a bride is going up and saying "I do" and has this deer in the headlight look of just begging for someone to say "I object."
I object.
Yeah.
I object.
Yeah. That's a great sign. That's a great sign when she goes, "Someone, anyone, you sure?" Just double check.
Where's Dustin Hoffman running down the aisle, grabbing me and
Yeah.
throwing me on the bus? We've
Or
got to get out of
Shrek.
here.
Yeah, or Shrek. I mean, that happened in his movie too. Just somebody needs to come in and say stop.
Oh, or somebody on roller skates. Was that Happy Endings? Have you ever seen that one?
No, I never have.
Ah,
Roller skates.
such a
I'm looking it up
good,
now.
such a good underground hit. It was on ABC. I want to say in like the mid 2000s.
Yes.
And it was Elizabeth Cuthbert and a bunch of other people who have popped up, here and there. The Wayans brother that was in, he ended up doing New Girl, was in it, but super solid show couldn't have been on a more wrong network in ABC.
Yeah.
But had it
this
been,
is
had it been on like an FX or an HBO, it would have definitely had legs.
Yeah.
Similar jokes kind of over and over. They found you, Will. I hear the police in the background. You better fucking
Oh
run.
yeah.
I'll
I was gonna say.
I'll vamp for the next 45 minutes.
I'm in New York. What are you talking about? Nothing bad ever happens here.
Are
Yeah.
you in NYC now?
I'm in NYC right now. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh, no
Yeah.
way. I didn't know that
get-
you moved
get-
there.
I'm there. It is an adventure. It's a fun time. You get to see homeless people making a bathroom of the city street as you walk by in the crisp morning air.
Oh, does that really exist?
Beautiful.
I haven't heard anybody
Oh,
talk about that.
I saw it last week. So, I mean, they definitely clean it up faster than they do in San Fran that has that fucking app. But,
What? There's an app that shows you where the homeless duty droppings are?
uh-huh. Yeah, you've never seen that? Oh, it's
No, I
eye-opening.
have not. I haven't been looking for it either, though.
It's very eye-opening. It's such a great... I'm so glad it exists. I'm so happy that I can be like, how do I ruin my day-to-day as I walk down...
They really do have an app that
They have
tells
an
you.
app for that. Yeah, they have an app for that. It is like... I feel like anyone that's trying to like make fun of Nancy Pelosi nowadays, if they're not talking about her insider trading, they're like, let's talk about her city's fantastic scenery. Like, they have the Ghirardelli factory and, the Golden Gate Bridge and the shit app. I mean, everyone loves walking down the city street.
There you go. The shit app.
The shit app.
I don't think I'm going to find that in the App Store. It probably goes
Yeah.
by another name, but I get it.
Yeah. I think you could find it pretty fast. Let's see. San Francisco shit app. Francisco.
Meanwhile, your girl Pelosi there is trying to start World War III
What are you
with her
talking
little
about?
trip to Taiwan.
She's trying to short oil futures while doing it, I'm sure.
I'm
Yeah,
sure
what
she's
is it?
got a lot of short positions everywhere.
Okay, this is what it's called, but there's one called Snapcrap, which I really hope is what the actual app is.
Snap crap. I love it. It's
That's
like
a
a New
great-
York Post back headline or front page headline.
Yeah, wow.
Back page of
that is-
sports.
Yeah, Daily Mail. Yeah, New York Post. It would be New York. You're totally right.
Yeah, it would be
Jesus
front page New York Post.
Yeah, fuck.
Snap crap.
Oh, the world's greatest newspaper.
It really is. Just for the headlines alone. I can't even tell you the last time. My neighbor down the street that I go over and I drink beers with him once in a while, our kids are friends. He has a subscription to it. So I always, on the weekends, I'll just go through like the Thursday, Friday, Saturday headlines just to see the front page.
I was gonna say, yeah, I used to work in a deli where we have like restocked newspapers every morning. No one gave there would just be that one old dude who would come in for the NY Times, the Wall Street Journal. The only one I cared about was the New York Post.
That's it.
For their just like belittling of some massive news story with some fun little headline that sounds like it came off a Snapple cat.
Right. It's still the only newspaper that I see people actually go out and buy. Like, I'm sure that people get the Wall Street Journal during the week and all that, New York Times. But the one that you see around the most, the one you see around the most is the New York Post. And I don't even see like the Daily News anymore. I used to see the Daily News a lot. I don't see the news anywhere anymore. It's just post or bust.
Yeah.
But I mean, they were kind of ahead of the curve. It's funny because like them and whatever Fox News were more or less ahead of the curve by not taking news seriously at all and just making jokes wherever you could. And now, it's all opinion. So.
No. What are you talking about? No, that's real news. It's real news.
It is real news.
Are you saying that Fox News, CNN, and MSNBC are not backed by legitimate journalists?
I know, if you can believe that.
How could you say that?
I'm watching the news with Shepard Smith right now. I just have it on the background. I have never seen a male over the age of 40 have that much makeup on in my life. His face is like a rosy orange. It's just insane. It's just insane. But, he's got to look good. He looks plastic.
I was going to say, he looks like a fusion of like a Ken doll, one of those plastic apples you would see in like a fake fruit bowl for art class.
Right, a cornucopia that you got to paint.
His head is remarkably square-shaped. Oh, my goodness.
Here's the great Jon Stewart, who was all over Twitter today because he lost it on some internet troll. And
Jon Stewart? Oh, no,
yeah, he's pushing for some kind of bill that has to do with the burn pits and getting medical need and everything for the soldiers that have had impacts due to the burn pits. The only problem is it's turned into a big political nuclear football here because the Democrats took it and they tacked on, instead of what was, I'm going to screw this up, but instead of what could have been partial spending of $400 billion, it became mandatory spending of $400 billion. So even if the veterans didn't get what they needed, like because they didn't qualify and it wasn't warranted, it would be spent anyway. And so then the Republicans didn't go for it. So then the Democrats turned around and said, "You guys all suck." And Jon Stewart was in there going for it, and then he went with, I don't know, he got tracked down by some right wing, crazy guys, and then they got him on TV, and he's flipping out, and they're like, "Well, you don't even know what you're talking about." And then at the end, they just did some kind of handshake thing, and it looked like Jon Stewart had like a gun held to his head because he's like just smirking, and he's like, "I guess, no, we're agreeing to this."
That's fun. He's the only late night show host from that era that I still respect to any degree.
I was not a so I liked the Kilborn Daily Show when it was still kind of jokey and not serious at all. I didn't really watch it with Stewart, but I mean that was when it was at its prime. I mean the Daily Show with Stewart was actually like a news vessel. I mean it was pretty impactful in like elections and all that kind of shit. But the best Jon Stewart show was the Jon Stewart Show, which I think started on MTV and moved to Fox.
I remember that.
Or vice versa. Yeah, you might have been a little tight.
I was gonna say, oh my god, who?
But he was awesome with the original one. That was like before it was political and it was just him doing like a late night format. It was a solid show.
Shit. Yeah, he was the only. I mean, just to get into that, I mean, he left on top to me, and like I still just have like a higher amount of respect for him because whenever he does get involved in politics today, it seems to be for like a better purpose than to pull a Stephen Colbert and just basically get on your pit and say Trump bad, bunga 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 bunga.
Does he do that? Oh, I did not know.
You didn't know? Yeah, no. He's so subtle about his opinions. And then when he dances with Chuck Schumer, and you're like, oh yeah, thank you for not being.
Oh God, I remember those videos. Those were
Yeah,
ridiculous.
oh, God. Yeah,
Oh
like,
Jesus! But you know what's funny? Growing up, and I mean, you know, we have a little bit of difference in age, but not that much. But like,
yeah,
nobody talked politics ever growing
Yeah.
up. Like, definitely not kids, but parents talk politics like once in a blue moon.
I got so much more into it than I'm like happy to admit in like my more early 20s, and now I'm just so burnt out by it because I just think it's if you care at this point, you're an idiot. I don't know.
Oh,
It's
well,
so corrupt.
So, a little
I don't know.
background information on Will and I and our friendship is that we both worked at a financial firm and we both started in 2016. I think you were there
Ooh.
before me, early 2016.
Yeah, it was like a week before maybe. Was
Right.
that? Yeah. But
So-
did something happen in 2016, Rich?
Something happened right in
people
front of
get-
our eyes.
Did something polarizing occur then?
I
don't
can't think of what it
remember.
was. There was something in the political landscape. Anyway, it'll come to me eventually. So we have
Yeah.
CNN posted on every
If only
TV
there was
around
like
us.
a building with big gold letters about what it was that happened.
Yeah, now it's starting to ring a bell. The name's coming to
Yeah.
me. Give me a second and
Yeah.
I'll figure it out.
Yeah, Trisha, that was it. Yeah.
I don't think so. Close,
Yeah.
though. There's something about that sounds familiar. So we just watched literally the whole nation just kind of implode before our eyes. Because, I mean, we had to do our work and everything, but if they put a TV right in front of your face, you can't help but stare at it a lot of the time. So,
Yep.
sure enough, and it was all CNN. It was either CNN or CNBC, but regardless, I mean, primarily it was CNN. And we just watched as this nation just slipped into this big giant cesspool that is, I don't know, did they call it news now? I don't know what the hell
Yeah.
it was, but
I guess you would.
Trump!
Oh,
That was it! Trump!
that was who it was.
Woo! I knew I'd figure it out.
Now, remind me, he's that guy who was in that one scene in Home Alone 2, correct? That's all I remember him
That's
from.
right, and they wanted to take him out
Okay.
too, right? He
Wow,
wanted his part removed and all that shit.
Shocking. Wow.
Fucking
I
unbelievable.
knew he rung a bell for some reason.
Oh my God! Hold on. The great Joe Biden is standing up at the podium.
Oh no, not him.
Yeah. Do you have it? Do you have the TV on by chance?
No, I'll find it. Oh God, what's he saying?
Oh, he's already fumbled.
Oh, that was fast.
Yeah,
I
he
just-
fumbled. He's trying to say the name of the Al Qaeda leader they killed.
Oh boy, do you just remember fucking? It was literally in 2016 as Obama's leaving office. There was this gigantic trend in memes where people would just make fun of Joe Biden, where he's just like the bumbling sidekick to Barack Obama, where
Sniffing every
You know.
12-year-old's hair that he can.
yeah, exactly, yeah, where he'd be like, I don't know, Barack, why don't we have ice cream Mondays? I think that would probably smooth over these wars we're having. And he'd be like, Jesus Christ, Joe. And that was basically the crux of every meme, where everyone's like, this old man, look at how funny he is. And now
Yeah, here it is. Now,
Yeah.
didn't he just test positive again for COVID?
yes, he did.
Right. So that's why they're probably doing this outside in the
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean they got him juiced up pretty good tonight because I
Well,
mean
but-
his eyes are barely opened. I mean,
I was gonna say they got to, they shoot him with a couple, things of rhino tranquilizer just to make sure he can stay, he can stand up properly, and they do it outside so his son can smoke crack in the open summer air.
there you go. There's something going on with his son. I think I heard something about that too.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can always tell how much they have him juiced because his eyes are like squinty or they're like wide open, and I mean, justice has been
Oh my
delivered.
God. Look at his forehead, dude. How much Botox they inject in his face on a
don't
daily
know.
basis.
This guy, now why would you do this now, right? I mean,
Yeah.
it's funny how this happens to be the same time that Nancy Pelosi decides that she's going to go to Taiwan.
I mean, I think that's pretty funny, but that may just be me. God, he looks so bizarre.
Oh, there he goes. I love when he leans into the microphone. Oh, he's pointing a finger. He's pointing a finger. He means business.
I love all of my grandparents, even though most of them are dead. But I would not trust any of them behind the wheel of a car. And he is older than all of them.
I wouldn't
And-
either, sir.
And he's older than all of them. It's just
Oh,
like-
I mean, between him and Pelosi's what, 84?
yeah, something like that. Oh my god. let's
Neither of them
find
can
out.
talk in clear sentences. No, they can't put a subject and a predicate together.
I mean, Pelosi also looks like she's about to turn into some sort of wood witch that'll curse you into a toad or something
For sure.
like that in any given moment.
But what's also ridiculous is that she still has the fake breast that she bought 40 years ago, right? And so,
That
like, she's like
was-
tipping over. She dyes her hair. I mean, it's the fakest crap you've ever seen in your life.
That was phenomenal. That was phenomenal. Seeing those things and just go like, how the fuck are they?
She
that-
always
I mean,
looks
they're
like she's
just-
going to fall forward. And it
I
was
mean,
like,
yeah.
come on, you're 84.
Yeah.
Your body
Well, I
can't
mean-
handle the weight structure. The weight distribution's
la-
all off.
I mean, last time we joked about Tom Cruise, bathing in the blood of virgins.
That's
She
right.
actually looks like she sucks the life force out of her interns to stay alive.
Oh my God, her face is like so jacked from all the
I-
plastic surgery.
I was gonna say, good lord, like the wear and tear of just. Have you ever seen like any of those movies where like someone will practice dark magic and like it'll slowly wear their skin off their body or something? That's what she looks like.
Like
Just this
Agatha
sallow-
from WandaVision.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, just sunken in skin. Oh my god. You should not be able to see a person's skeleton this much in their profile, Nancy Pelosi.
I can't believe this guy is still talking about Al Qaeda. Like anybody gives a shit.
Oh my god. Oh, this is phenomenal. I love who's in charge of our country. This is not boding poorly.
There
at all.
isn't a single person of any kind of skill. I
No,
mean, they are
no.
all completely lost at fucking sea. Every
Mm-hmm,
one of them.
Yeah, no, we need to have more people that are older than my grandparents who don't drive once again anymore running our entire country. They understand. The people who think that sending a text is, emailing you a picture and then, doing it via their phone, that's who I want running this country.
He just gave the biggest sigh. He's like, as your commander in chief. He's just, I'm gassed.
Yeah.
They don't understand. I can only do these things in 5-minute increments. This is going too long now.
Abortion's a very important issue, but more importantly, I would like to focus on Tapioca Fridays. Tapioca Fridays is an issue that me, Nancy Pelosi, and Mitch McConnell are all in high agreement about making sure that every senior over the age of 65 is given one
We never back
child-sized
down.
bowl, one child snack bowl of tapioca.
I love it when he has to suck his dentures in
Yeah.
just to readjust them. And he just gets a big lip smacking sound on camera.
Yeah. I'm trying to find any moisture still in his face.
Joe, you still got your teeth in there? All right, good.
Yeah.
We don't want you to lose. Remember he almost lost him in that one debate versus Trump?
Yeah.
They got super
Oh,
loose
yeah.
and they almost fell out.
Oh my God. It's just if they run again, I think maybe I will be one of those idiots that says he's moving to
I love when he
Canada.
botched the
just don't
line. He puts his finger up and he says it a second time.
Yeah. I don't know. Have you watched the speech about him and his friend Corn Pop?
About who?
Corn Pop? I was a lifeguard.
I used
down
to
by
eat corn
the-
pops, but I don't know about
I was-
any.
I
Sounds like
was
a
a
rapper. Is he
lifeguard.
friends with a rapper? Yo, this is my boy
lifeguard.
Corn Pop.
Hey, you did watch it. There you go. That's basically how it goes. And you're just like, this sounds wrong or like a lie, and it probably is. Oh, good job, everybody. God, why is he here?
How are we still existing? like-
There's a certain point where you're just like, Putin, you got it at this point.
Oh
Maybe
my God.
you-
Russia and China are so going to hand us our rear ends at some
Yeah,
point.
if it weren't for the fact that I'm very positive that once Putin or Xi die, the power vacuum will lead to both of those nations collapsing because they have no strategic plan in place for after they're dead.
No, but until
no.
that happens, I mean,
Yeah.
they're humming right
Yeah.
now. They're just like, oh yeah. By the way, the whole oil thing, you want to go green? All right, we're just going to choke you out.
That sounds adorable, Germany. Good job. Glad you got rid of that pipeline. By
And
the
you
way.
know how we'll do it? We'll launch a stupid attack in Ukraine and just bomb them, and then you'll just get everybody to cut us off, and then everybody that needs our oil is going to turn around and beg us for it, and we're just not going to give it to them anymore because, you sanctioned us.
my favorite part is that Germany just goes.
Oh, let's see.
we
Does it
don't-
take
we-
any questions? I'm sorry. I didn't mean to
Oh.
plow over you. No,
Oh, no, go for it.
He's out. He's out. Wrap it up.
He never does that.
Party
He
over.
Never does. He never just leaves. Oh my
Party
God.
over.
Yeah, but my favorite part is that Germany just goes, we don't need oil. We're going to be a completely green country. And they build one fucking like windmill to like generate power for, I don't know, like the fucking light bulb above some dog's crate. And then they're just like, and by the way, we're going to be taking all, this shit from Russia, but we're just going to ignore that. That's not on us. That's on Russia.
It's not us.
Yeah.
I mean, look, Trump was an absolute stooge, but he
Yeah.
did provide some great after the fact, like
he was-
quotes and videos.
He was quite funny.
Oh,
He was,
fantastic. And it's like the gift that keeps on giving.
yeah, I don't want him to run again because it is just exhausting listening to everyone's opinions about him, and I don't think I could do that for another 4 years. But
Let's pray to God he doesn't run again, right?
I know,
Because
just-
it is the last thing anybody needs in this world is
know.
for him to be up there again.
Listen, I don't need to go on another first date where the first question they ask is, so did you vote for Trump? Because, he's basically a Nazi, and I have to go, oh my God, okay, all right. let's
Like I
just
said,
start
whoever
there.
talked about politics, nobody did. It wasn't a thing. It wasn't
So
a
many-
thing growing up.
So many dates, dude, that I've been on where they begin that in the first, 15 minutes. And I
Are
just
you
go, "What the-"
serious?
Dude, I was in the middle with somebody once, and she just stops and I go, by the way, did you vote for Trump? And I just go, are you fucking right now?
Oh my
Really?
God.
Really?
Oh my God,
bit-
no.
It's
Fucking
a
kill
bit,
me.
It's a bit late for that question.
I might get on my knee again and propose to my
Yeah.
wife a second time, just so I don't have to enter the
Yeah.
single world and hear that ever.
It's just that just suck all of the air. And I didn't even vote for him, but it's just like, oh, come on, why? Just shut up.
You know what really gets the romance going? Trump talk.
Oh. Yes, exactly. I really want to think of his faux blonde head of hair flopping around in the wind as I'm like, yes, this is getting me going here. His
So sad.
beautiful McDonald's ridden body.
I feel for you, brother. Can't you just hit the Bumble and the Tinder and just avoid all of that?
I mean, at this
That's
point,
what the
maybe I'll just-
smartphone was for, right?
Exactly. Maybe. I mean, at this point, you just, maybe I'll just join a monastery on some mountain, shave my head, and,
Don't be doing all that. Don't be doing all that. I mean, come on.
yeah,
Let's keep it together.
let's keep it together.
Well, speaking of keep together, let's downshift here because we just got into TV news talk and reminiscent
Yeah,
down the
yeah.
way. I mean, it's only been
people really-
who the hell knows?
People really want to hear opinions about abortion. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I know. So anyway, I mean, it's supposed to be a TV. Well, we talked about TV news. I mean,
Exactly,
it's not
TV
our
news.
fault that the great Joe Biden
Yeah,
came up
yeah.
and fumbled through another one of his speeches.
In our defense, what is it if not a spectacle? Which is just like everything else on television.
I
if
mean,
not
there you
better.
go. Right. So anyway, we were going to talk about a little bit of the MCU, if you will. But before we got into that, Will had the good fortune of seeing another gem, which I have heard just tremendous things about.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
so,
boy.
how was The Gray Man, sir?
This also works great for the MCU because it was made by the Russo brothers who directed like all
Oh,
those Captain
yeah, it
America
was,
movies.
wasn't
Yeah,
it?
Yeah, right. Yeah, see, this fits perfectly. But this is all working out great. And Chris Evans was the main bad guy, and he was actually the best part of the movie.
I
which
have
was shocked
heard
by.
that. That's the
He
one part
was-
I heard. I heard he was good.
He was such a creative villain. He was basically like a college frat boy, CIA torture guy. I don't know how to describe it probably, but he was such a ridiculous character that he was just the best part. He was just every scene he was in, he stole. He was just such a douchebag, but to a fun degree, despite being the villain.
Now, who was the other one? Ryan Gosling?
Ryan Gosling, who I have a lot, he was great in Blade Runner 2049, but they're like, Ryan, we need you to be nobody in this movie. We need
Oh,
you to
really?
just, kinda
Just
stand
characterless?
there. And they say this at one point, you fucking Ken doll, because I think he's going to be in the new Barbie movie or something as Ken, but he literally was basically a doll. It's like, hey, I'm Ryan Gosling and I look good and I'm shooting a gun and there we go.
Congratulations, sir.
You
Job
did
well
it.
done.
You did it, yeah. And then the movie somehow cost $200 million and was. I was talking to my family and I saw it with my friend last night before back to work for the week. It was so average. It was so fucking average. And I see billboards for it everywhere. And it was just kind of like,
I mean, well,
okay.
once it came out, and it came out, what, a week ago? Or was it just this
Something like that,
weekend?
yeah.
I think it's been
maybe
out
like
for
a
about a
let's
week.
see. Yeah.
And you saw a ton of shit for it like 3 days before.
Yeah.
And I shouldn't say I've heard plenty about it, but I have not seen an advertisement or anything, any other marketing piece for it ever since. So it was like they gave it 3 days and then it was either done or not worthy of more pumpage, but whatever it was, the ad dollars went away real quick.
Yeah, I mean, they have like these gigantic billboards for it all over Times Square. And just all through
The
New
billboards are
York.
going to stay up for a while.
When I was driving in this morning, there's fucking everything, and then or on the bus, but it's every bus has a fucking billboard for it on there, and then it is so ridiculously cliche. Like I don't have to tell you much. Like what do you think?
Can we make an
spy
agreement
movie's
that
about? Yeah.
everything Netflix does is basically cliche?
You're 100% right.
It's my
Yeah,
biggest beef with that entire platform.
Yeah, it was like I tried to assume a few times as the movie was going on to my friends. I was like, oh, I bet that this is actually here. They were smart enough to do. No, I was always wrong. It was always what is the most bland vanilla answer? Like not even vanilla in a sugar cone. It's just vanilla they just pour in your hands. It's just pure, unadulterated vanilla. You're like, what is this? This is so cookie cutter.
His best friend's the bad guy.
Wait, so you have seen it? Yeah.
I mean, it really. Have you ever heard the Bill Simmons podcast? Well, I don't know. It's not famous, but he's talking about how Netflix basically just has a big machine algorithm and it just shoots out something and it's
and
Flowers, Sister, Car Crash, Love Story. And they just make it into something.
It was so weird though, because I mean, the movie, I could literally just tell you, it's a spy movie, obviously, and I could just say, guess what the movie's about, because it turns out his organization or his boss who he's working for may not be all that he appears to be, or something like that, and you would guess the entire plot off of it. Yeah, exactly. And what was so weird about it is they're trying to turn it into a James Bond, because throughout the entire movie they're just saying these a couple lines where he's one of the greatest Black Ops secret agents who's going to try to kill the Gray Man, and I'm like, why would they do 5 minutes about this guy and establishing his character, and you go, oh my god, they're going to do a spin-off about this random characters in the movie for 15 minutes.
Well, I have heard that they did get a green light for a sequel, right?
Oh, they got it, and a spin-off apparently, which makes sense.
For somebody within the movie, I would have paid if I actually saw it, but you
you don't need to. You already saw the movie. Trust me. Have you seen a James Bond movie? You've seen this. Have you seen? Where's the Austin Powers movie mockery when you need this? Because it's just so cookie cutter.
Do you think, offshoot question, Austin Powers gets made today?
No.
Probably not, right?
No, you're never making a comedy again. No, you're gonna have some girl
I don't know
my
about
age.
a comedy, but definitely one about a womanizing man who just sexually exploits everything.
If Adam McKay and I could go into his fucking movies, like that Don't Look Up movie was such a
what a whiffaroo at the end.
I know. Oh my god, it's like we get it, we get your point. But he's just you could not make Step Brothers without some morbidly obese woman with pink hair coming out saying, I was really offended about his joke about eating cotton candy marshmallows because I eat those every morning with milk and I feel perfectly healthy. And it's just I hate you.
I mean, we have lost probably all future comedies that have true funny moments in them.
Yeah.
Because I can't think of many that unfortunately doesn't poke the fun at some person in life.
Yeah.
Or group of people. But like I'm just thinking about Austin Powers, the whole "shag me, baby," and he's just and the Scottish guy is super fat, and
Whoa! That's pretty fat phobic of you right there to say that.
I know. You can't say fat.
Yeah,
anymore.
you say body-sized blessed is what you say now. Come on.
And the mini-me was a midget. You probably can't do that anymore.
I'm hearing a lot of triggering words. My
Microaggressions, man. I specialize in that shit.
It's really acting up here all of a sudden. Don't make me go on Twitter. I will cancel you.
I had to do my first corporate training on I don't know what you would call it. Maybe I guess wokeism, but it's like microaggressions and diversity, inclusion, everything else. But it was just basically just don't pick on anybody, which is like there's such things that don't have to be said, and they made like a whole 30, 40-minute presentation on all these things.
Yeah. Oh my God.
And then they add, the words like microaggression, which the first time I heard microaggression was out of your mouth at our desk.
And now you hear it everywhere.
Everywhere.
You're welcome.
Everywhere.
You're welcome.
Everywhere, man.
So we've had there's things at my job, and there's things like, because I'm getting my MBA now, and there's like things they'll be like, the diversity thing at our school is really focused on minimizing the amount of microaggressions, but I haven't had it that thrown in my face except for like a couple classes where I've had like very progressive teachers. But my one friend is in med school, or he just finished or something like that. And he was telling me about these like mandatory courses he has to take for med school where, if your bone hurts, don't hit it is what they should be teaching you.
It's a good lesson.
He's like, I'm learning about how like the white man came in and basically, assassinated all dark-skinned Italians. And for that reason, it's just like, that's what he learns now in medical school. You go, why is this?
Well, I mean, you'd think in medical school, we've probably gotten past that. I'd rather those people be, learning about, I don't know, arteries, neurons, blood vessels, how to perform a surgery.
No, don't you want to go into the doctor's office and say, oh my God, doctor, my pacemaker, it's off, something's going on. He says, well, listen, I can't help you there, but I can direct you to the nearest safe space and give you a coloring book for you to work on your mental health. You're dead. Okay, my bad. It's too late for you.
It is just, what happens in the absence of logic? You have today's America. That's what happens. It's just too much. And you know what? Like, I don't blame the people who are truly invested in trying to, I don't know, like lift people up or try to eliminate like the bullshit, right? Because there's still a lot of it, and I get it. But it's just the way that they took this initiative and turned it into something so overarching and overreaching and just, it's just become so much. It's
so everywhere. It's so everywhere.
Everywhere.
Oh my God.
All right. Well, let's rewind. So, because that was sorry, I didn't mean to do that. I was just, for some reason, Austin Powers popped in my head, and I'm like, I don't think he'd ever make that.
As it should have, because I would have rather watched Austin Powers 50 more times than watch The Gray Man again. I will be watching its sequels because, it was just so beyond average, and I respect all the people that were in it, and it's just like, why? How did you make this?
Now,
what happened to you?
Is it a fair criticism from what I've heard the most is that it's a really great action movie. It's got a ton of action. It's just, it comes in the absence of plot.
The plot is so cliche, if not just downright stupid at times. Like,
I heard it just doesn't even exist.
It's so cliche it hurts. And they literally, I think, must have filmed in, like, because there's like, he's got to save this girl character who's like his
oh, of course there's the girl. The damsel in distress.
Yeah, his
2022.
It's his best friend's like daughter or niece or something like that. And he has to go save that girl. And like in the middle of the movie, like as this action stuff's happening, all of a sudden, smash cut. By the way, 2 years ago, this is where he bonded with this girl and why he likes this girl and why he cares for this girl. It's not like just some random like niece of his friend that he has to save. No, it's like,
oh, they did a mid movie flashback.
Yeah, a mid movie flashback. Yeah, they did that. It was great. Oh,
they're doing that everywhere.
And then
did you ever watch Westworld?
I watched a bit of it, and then I got really upset with J.J. Abrams, and so I dropped it before I even got that far.
It's fine. The beginning is really the best part. I'm pot committed, so I'm watching it. But I mean, their go-to move was screwing with the timelines. And the first time they did it, it was really awesome. And now every time they do it afterward, you kind of like see it coming from a mile away.
Yeah, and it's like, oh, cool, again.
Right. And so, I mean, that's just the first show that comes to mind. But, I mean, it's one of Hollywood's now go-to moves is either the dual timelines or the flashback intra-movie or intra-show to show you, oh, this is how it actually happened. Yeah. They're actually doing with Better Call Saul. They're actually doing it okay. And but what's funny is that what comes to my mind, I'm still trying to plow through that new Star Wars book, Shadows of the Sith.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my God. And the whole thing is just it's just fan fiction. They're just filling in the gaps, right? Mm-hmm. Trying to, I guess they're going to be pot committed to the entire sequel trilogy, right? Because I thought at one point they might say, this really sucked. We're going to try to redo it. But not with the extent that they're doing all these complementary stories to fill in the gaps. So this book, it's like, here's the setting, time, now. Here's the setting, time, then. Here's the setting, time, now. And so they're just trying to fill in multiple different timelines with information so that they can turn around and be like, see, now the sequel trilogy makes sense. Read the book. It all makes sense.
All you needed was to do, get a minor in this subject at school, and now it makes sense. It's so simple. Don't you love our storytelling process?
Yeah, or you could have just not done that sequel trilogy and done it in a completely better way. Yeah. Just take the Dark Empire comic book series and just shoot that scene for scene. It would have been perfect. But anyway, that was last week. So, The Gray Man is worth watching, not worth watching? Is it bad good?
It wasn't any bad good. It was just the writing was just such a fucking phone in to a ridiculous degree. The action was really fun. Once again, if you're trying to predict the movie as you're watching it, I would love if you just the moment you see the first scene, you're like, okay, so this is what the kind of spy movie is. I'll just give you a quick thing. He's a prisoner, and they say you can work for the CIA as a top secret agent, but you'll be working for us.
Of course,
you're stuck in prison the rest of your life. And he's like, so you have nothing else to lose. You have nothing to lose except for joining us and becoming a super spy. And then it's all of a sudden the organization, 20 years down the line, it's we don't have a use for you anymore. And then you can kind of figure out exactly where the rest of the plot goes just from those two things. You go, oh, so is this going to happen? And is this going to happen? And this is going to happen? And this is going to happen? Oh, all of it did. What a surprise.
Yeah,
you guys really...
Now he's a maverick. He's out on his own.
Yeah. If you
a man on an island.
Yeah. If you told me they took a Mad Lib book and that's how they wrote the plot of this movie, I would totally believe you.
Well, you know what? That's probably a great analogy to the Simmons podcast theory that I was talking about, is that ad-libs, right? I mean, it's insert, verb, noun, pronoun. Oh, Jesus, I can't even say pronoun without thinking of terrible things. Canceled. Insert name, and here's your movie. Canceled.
Canceled. Yeah, good job, Netflix. Yeah, you're making some really good average things. I mean, I guess that's everyone that's doing streaming shit, I guess, at this point. I mean, they all have maybe one good show, and then they just have a slew of garbage.
Just too many of them. There's just too many. There's too many streaming services, and there's just not enough content. I mean, back in the day, it was cable, and then HBO, and then regular TV, and it was digestible. Not to say that it was good. A lot of it sucked, but now there's just so much bad.
Yeah, so much bad. There's so many shows that I see have these gigantic budgets behind them that I've not even watched a single, maybe a clip of at this point.
I just got through Resident Evil. I stuck through that dog shit.
You watched that?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I hopped in.
How was that? I have not heard good things.
Well, we'll stay on Netflix here instead of hopping into the MCU. You know what?
Yeah.
So the Resident Evil has tried to be done every way possible. And
well-
the old movie series
Movie, yeah.
featured the one girl, right?
She's very hot.
Was it
which is
Natasha
probably
Hendrich or was it somebody else?
Let's find out. I know exactly who you're talking about, but I don't know what her name is.
No, it wasn't
The
Natasha Hendrich. She was in
movie.
something else. She was in that. She had a small bit in like Species. It was somebody else.
It's Mila
Yeah,
Jovovich.
yeah,
Okay.
that one.
Does she do anything else? I feel like I only see her. Oh, look, she was born in Kiev. Oh, that's fun.
There you go.
Yeah.
Political reference.
Look at us circling back to the important issues.
There you go.
Yeah, what the fuck? Wow. Okay,
But-
cool.
This one, she is not in it at all. It's a completely different take on the series. I don't know in a good or a bad way. I really hated
Yeah.
the movies, so this was okay. It was done in an R-rated fashion. I mean, it's gory. There's a ton of cursing. They did it with a couple of high school characters, so they try to do it into kind of the old 80s era when it's like, oh, the kids are in high school, but this is real high school, and they like curse and sometimes talk about sex and blah, blah, blah.
Does it have anything to do with the video games at all? Because those have been making a pretty big resurgence recently.
Well, primarily, yes, right? So it would be your origin story of
Yes.
Resident Evil. So in this, there's two timelines. Again, it's all about timelines. It's then and now, or now and then, whichever way you want to look at it. And so Lance Riddick, did you ever watch The Wire? Or Fringe?
No, I never did. I watched
Tall,
a few
skinny
episodes
black
of both.
dude, really good actor,
yeah.
but he's
Good,
never
good.
been in any kind of like real movie role. He's always on a TV.
I know exactly who you're talking about. Yes.
So he gets involved in it. He is the father. There's two girls in it. And so it's just kind of an origin story. The only problem with it is that this again goes to the fact that you can do movies creatively or you can just do movies to get them done. And so, look, I don't know necessarily in hindsight if the Martin Scorsese scripts for like Casino and Goodfellas and all that were actually good. I mean, I laugh at them still. But
Yeah.
the way he shot them made them that much better, right?
Yeah.
And I just feel like here with Resident Evil, it could have been so much better. But the way they shot it, it kind of looked campy. It looked TV. It looked
Yeah.
low budget. And so it just kind of milked it for, something that it was like, oh, damn, if you did it this way or you did it this way, it just didn't work.
That's the one. So I saw this like trending last week. There's like a woman who just starts spontaneously dancing or some shit
Yes.
out of nowhere.
Yeah,
Was
okay.
that was Resident Evil because I saw that I was
Yes.
like this. They said it was Resident Evil, and I went, and it looked just like the actress that you see in all these posters everywhere. And I went, there's got to be something else. There's no way this is the same show.
That scene you're talking about, I don't know what it was supposed to achieve. Like,
Yeah.
to make you think, oh, this is really what, like, it just pushed it into this, like, terrible Brady Bunch Gilligan's Island type fucking atmosphere where it's like, what the fuck are we doing here, guys?
Yeah.
What is this? Is this supposed to be scary? Is it not? I
What
mean,
do you want this show to be?
exactly. What is this? What are we watching? And at one point, they went full on like Godzilla. They had a big, gigantic alligator that they like teased for like 2 or 3 episodes. And you're like, what are we going to use this for? And they ultimately use it, and it didn't do shit. And it was like,
Yeah, it
wow,
didn't.
you wasted all that for nothing.
Wait, I thought we were talking about Resident Evil, not Game of Thrones. What's going on
Yeah,
here?
I don't. And then the whole thing ends up leaving on kind of a cliffhanger, kind of not. And it's just wait till season 2. And then you look back
Yeah.
and you're like, okay, I just invested 8 hours watching this. I don't know what we did in the first 8 hours. So what was season 1? It was just all
Yeah.
filler. And it was like, but we're going to get there. Well, when will then be now? I need some kind of payoff.
When will then be now? Soon.
Soon.
Soon. Oh my god. There's so much garbage. I'm trying to think of like the last like actual Netflix original show that I watched that I was able to sit through all of, because what I've gotten to the point of is where I'll check out an episode, and I know this was like hook you into that first one, but I usually I tap out because so many of them are just
Well, I mean,
average.
the only ones
If
that I can
that.
actually get behind when it comes to Netflix is their documentary series because their documentaries are usually good.
Yeah.
They're usually good.
Yes.
Anything, a drama movie, anything fictional out of their movie and TV department, I cannot stand. But they're like, the toys that made us, the movies that made us. They're just like cheap.
You got me very into that series. That was a great one.
They're awesome. And because like you learn something new all the time, right?
Yeah.
Now, I wish they had done on the toys that made us the Secret Wars series. And I think because we've been running a little long here and we're almost at like an hour. So maybe we'll do
shit, really?
Yeah, I know. Maybe we'll do MCU next time. But
I was going to say.
Yeah. I would love to see an episode of the Toys That Made Us about Secret Wars because as we will talk about in the MCU, in another episode, that's all the Secret Wars was, and now they're building the entire next 3 phases, which seems to be into that.
Yeah.
Which I don't know how you make it work because, we'll talk about it at a later date, but it's kind of like a shitty story.
Yeah.
Are you familiar with the Secret Wars at all?
Like the Marvel Secret Wars? Like
yeah.
That's what you're talking about?
Yeah, the original, like the 84 one when it was like...
I didn't know they were doing that. That's... I've heard rumors about it. I didn't think it was real because it was so
the
kind of out there.
End of Phase 6 ends with Avengers Kang Dynasty and Avengers Secret Wars.
Wait, that's not real, is it?
Yeah, and that's it's May 2025 and November 2025 . So there's like 5 months between.
Yeah, we don't have enough time to get into that.
No, we won't. We'll touch on that next week. But
that's absurd. Oh my god.
But if you ever want a nice little research project, you can always go back and look up Marvel Secret Wars, Mattel, and research the whole background of actually how that storyline came to be. Because they basically just wanted stories. It would be a great documentary for Netflix. I just don't know about actually hinging the end of Phase 6 to it.
And now that you said that, Disney probably heard that exact thing. They're going to put it on Disney Plus. Like, we can't let anyone else have access to this. We have to kill them.
No, but they're doing Secret Invasion on Disney Plus.
Wait. Oh no, that was the Skrull one, right?
Yes.
I hate that I know that.
I don't know that series that well, but that is the one. Yeah.
I remember reading it like in a library or something when I was younger, and I was just, even for me, I was like, this is stupid. And I was like 16 or something then. And I don't know, I love me some comic book stuff, but even that one was just too ridiculous.
Yeah, well, here's the top. Oh, continue. I didn't mean to plow over.
I was going to say, I'm looking through some of the Netflix shows. They do have some really fucking solid shows on here, though.
Well, I just pulled up the top 10. And so you've got, these are the top 10 in order from 1 down to 10. Keep Breathing, Virgin River, Stranger Things, The Most Hated Man on the Internet, Uncoupled, what is this? Car Masters, Rust to Riches, Alone, which is not a Netflix story, or not a Netflix show, which that one actually intrigues me because anything that's not a Netflix show, this one's equipped with limited resources, an isolated group of individuals is subject to harsh conditions of the wilderness and must survive screw it. It's whatever. Man versus Nature, or whatever the hell. It's another Naked and Afraid. Resident Evil at number 8. Homecoming, which is number 9, not a Netflix show. And then Street Food USA.
Okay.
I mean, does anything there, interest you?
I don't. I see Neil Patrick Harris and Uncoupled, but, okay.
I mean, the number 1 show is Keep Breathing.
Like
In the survival thriller series, a woman fights to stay alive after her plane crashes in the wilderness. Oh, there we go. Just like that Alone thing that I just saw.
Anyway, did you? Apparently, that and cooking shows apparently can never stop, or that fucking blacksmithing.
Everybody has to be stuck in the wilderness. Mm-hmm. So, and then you're like, all right, well, who's in this? Here's the cast: Melissa Barrera, Jeff Wilbush, Austin Stowell, Florencia Lozano, I can't even read here. Juan Pablo Espinoza, I can read that one. Mike DePauw, Jocelyn Picard. Who the fuck are these people?
Yeah.
I have no faith in that. Virgin River, okay. Searching for a fresh start. Of course, there's always a fresh start. A nurse practitioner moves from L.A. to a remote North Carolina town and is surprised by what and who she finds.
What is this one about? Is this about that Tinder guy? Is that what this is?
Listen to the actors from Virginia River, which is the #2 show on Netflix. Alexa Breckenridge, Martin Henderson, Tim Matheson, Annette O'Toole, Colin. Come on.
Searching first, moves to L.A. to a Northern California town. Surprised by what and who?
Yeah, it goes
She
and
finds.
who.
And who? Ooh, so spooky.
The most hated man on the internet. Have you heard about that? I have not.
No, I'm not. It looks like that there was the docu-series they had a few years ago called "Don't Fuck with Cats."
Oh
which
yeah, I
they
remember. I
pitched
never saw it, but I saw the.
It was. I would definitely watch it because it's super interesting. But the way they pitch it is, and it looks like this is the exact same thing as that one, where it's like there's this murderer online. And,
There's a murderer.
They pitch it as this Facebook group of like older people who are like, oh, these Facebook grandmas. They saw this guy torturing a cat, and they found out that he was more than just a cat murderer. He was a person murderer. And then the real story is
I gotta get some theme music here going.
Exactly. But
I can do it this way. I can do it this way.
Oh.
Old school Deal or No Deal.
Ooh, fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, that's perfect. Yeah. But yeah, basically the whole thing ends with it being like, oh, by the way, he basically admitted to the police what he did. This Facebook group that like they're giving the whole premise of like who caught him did absolutely nothing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. He's like, here is how I murdered him. Here is the video of it. Please pay attention to me. And they're like, why did you have an episode and a half focusing on this Facebook group and me listening to Edith talk about how much she uses Facebook every single day if she had nothing to do with the solving of this crime? Yeah, that's it. Yep, boom.
Done.
You got it.
I mean, a disaster. Now, one thing I'm thinking about, we'll punch out here because we've been going a while. I have noticed, and I'm sure you have too, that they've done a lot of the same shows on multiple.
Oh, yeah.
Why the hell is that?
Just trends. I think it's like, like when zombie movies were popular, or like how superheroes are popular now and everything has to have a superhero in it at this point.
Yeah, but I mean, how do you do? Somehow it was Adam McKay who did the Showtime, the Laker thing, Winning Time on HBO, which if you haven't seen, it's awesome.
Yeah, no, I haven't seen.
But it was I think who was the guy that used to do the Will Ferrell stuff? Adam McKay.
I think it was Adam. They're friends, right?
Yeah, they used to be friends, and then I think they split because of this show.
Yeah.
Because Will Ferrell wanted to be Jerry Buss, and then McKay hired what's his face, John C. Reilly instead.
Oh, ooh.
Yeah. You got to read up on that. That's a good story too.
I'm very curious.
But anyway, so HBO does that show, and then all of a sudden Apple Plus comes out with like, oh, it's the Magic Show, and it's Magic Johnson and like the documentary about him, and they come out at the same time. It's like, how the fuck is this possible? There's like so much out there. Why are you guys doing the same thing? Remember when it was like there was that like right in the 90s they did the same thing, late 90s when it was like Deep Impact, Armageddon.
What are you talking?
And it was like Dante's Peak, Inferno,
A Bug's Life, Ants.
yes, exactly. It was always these the 2 or 3 movies that were the same plot line.
I just imagine there's just 2 guys in Hollywood that base their behind every single movie, and they just absolutely hate each other. And whenever they hear that one of them is working on a movie, they immediately go, "Fuck every artistic project you're working on. You're making this fucking movie about ants now."
Ants. That's what you got.
But we already had this budget set aside for this. I said it's about ants now, or you're fired.
But we had this other project. That's right, and I bought it, and I fucking shelved it, and you're never going to see the light of day. Write the goddamn ants movie. That's it. That's what you're doing.
And then that's where Boba Fett sat for 20 years until finally Disney pulled it off and ruined it. Okay, good job, everybody.
And not well, either.
Yeah, no, not well. Yeah.
All right, so we'll wrap up there, and then we'll take a look next week at the MCU, because the MCU
sure we won't get sidetracked.
Chocked full of shit to talk about. As
you
got Phase 4 almost done, Phase 5 that there's just
I can't believe. Oh my god,
it's a disaster. Disaster writing itself.
Mm-hmm.
And you're right. We probably won't even get to that. It'll probably be like 2 shows from now.
I was going to say, 2 shows from now, because then we got the Lord of the Rings show coming out and all this other bullshit. And the new Game of Thrones.
And the new Game of Thrones, which we have to talk about as well.
Oh, boy.
To all of our faithful listeners, I think actually this week, the program or whatever program, the website that this goes through, I think we're going to have YouTube integration seamless, and I think I'll do that this week. Yeah. So again, no pictures because you're just going to have to fantasize about how sexy these men are that you hear are strapped.
We are both
voices here.
6'7" African American women who play professional basketball, and
and I have 3 ounces of fat on me.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. I look just like Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson.
Yes, you do. I will give you that.
Yeah.
I look like Kevin Hart. So, all right, buddy. I will talk to you next week. All right.
All right. See you later, pal.
All right. See you, everybody.
Godspeed.
Peace.